major that was over our squadron came out. He says, Stoffel, you and Garcia is going to have to go TDY. And I said, where are we going TDY to? He says, the Vietnam. I said, oh, no. I said, I'm in Germany. I ain't going to Vietnam. He says, well, we got orders for you to go, and you're going. So they sent us over with our dogs over there because we were going to go over there and set up a canine training for the big base that was there where all the military flew in and out of, because they didn't have anybody on the gate, on the outside perimeter of the fence. And they were always having guys coming up to the fence, and they'd fire through the fence, and then by the time you got down there, they were gone. And a couple of guys had got shot down there, so they wanted to get canine out there. So Garcia and I was going there to set up the canine. And at that time, I was a senior master, or a senior airman, and Garcia was too. So we were the top-ranking guys that was in dog school. And they sent us over there, and crazy place, man. I never seen a place like that in my life. I've been in jungles and that there, but Vietnam was a total different place. Was nothing like you've ever seen in your life. Where we was at, we were on base there, and we got it all set up and told them how they'd have to have it, where they'd have to have their kennels and everything, and how many dogs they'd have to have for each night, and how many squadrons they would have to have there to guard with the dogs. Men that they'd have to have there to work with the dogs. And they said, yeah, that's what we need. We need you guys to get that all straightened up and tell us what we need so we can go to command and get orders to get them in here. So we was over there for about 3 weeks. And we got everything straightened, got everything set up for them. And when we was over there, they were bringing in bodies that had been killed over there in Vietnam. And they had them in these rubberized, zipped up things. I guess you've seen them on TV. And they had them guys stacked up out there like they were just cordwood, just piles of them stacked up out there. And they was waiting for planes to come in. They'd put them all on these planes and fly them into Frankfurt, and then from Frankfurt they'd fly them into the States when they found out who they were and where they were supposed to be going and all that there. Right. And it was the most eerie place I've ever been in my life. You could feel death all around you. I mean, everything. I mean, you've been around a cemetery, feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's the way it was, because you knew that there was a guy coming in there. There was a guy coming in there in a body bag every day, and they was stacking them up, waiting to transport them out there with them planes. And I thank God I never did have to go out on patrol with them, because I'd talked to some of the guys that was over there, some of the Marines and some of the Army guys that was over there, and asked them how things were going, because they were coming back there for getting, what was it? They was getting relief from being right there in the hot action of Vietnam, and they'd send them over there for rest, R&R.
Okay.
Rest and relaxation. And they'd bring them in there, and I talked to a couple of them, and they said, boy, said every time we go out there, we think we're going to get killed. Every time we go out there. And they was talking about how that sometimes they'd be out there and they'd be in the daytime and they'd be walking through there and you could tell the Viet Cong from the Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Well, looked alike. Wore the same clothes even. The Viet Cong usually dressed in a black uniform, but sometimes they'd come in with regular clothes on to fool you. Mm-hmm. And they'd have, there was one of the guys, one of the Marines told me, he said we was out there we was going to a hooch, that's a hut out there in the jungle. Mm-hmm. And they were checking it out to see if there was any Viet Cong in there. And of course there's a lot of Vietnam people in there, Vietnamese people in there. And he said they were standing there, there was about 6 of them standing there smoking a cigarette, just shooting a breeze, you know. And he said some kid walked up on him and he got right in the middle of them. And he said we were always giving them candy, giving them a candy bar or something like that. They're the kids, mm-hmm. to try and get them to be friendly with the GIs. He said this kid walked up and he just opened his shirt, opened his jacket that he had on, opened up a bomb, killed all 6 of them.
Oh my God.
Killed a kid and the 6 of them. He said they'd even have women come up there and do the same thing. They'd look like they were pregnant and they had a bomb, mm-hmm. there. And they'd walk up there, because you wouldn't hurt a pregnant woman, you know. And they knew that. And they'd walk up there in the middle of a bunch of guys, set off a bomb to kill them all. And they said they lost more men that way than they did fight.
Wow.
And they talked about sometimes how that they'd be out there for days in a jungle. And of course I'd ate C rations and K rations too, so I knew what they were going through. They made very good eating. You know? It's not like eating Air Force chow anyway. But they flew us back, after we were done there, they flew us back to Sinbach. And everything was like it was. So I didn't think no more about it. And finally, this master sergeant that we had, he come up to me one night and he said, I heard you went to Vietnam. And I said, yeah, it was kind of a awakening experience. I said, I've never been in anything like that. I said, I never seen death like that before in my life.